Hi guys, so we've just finished a fantastic performance of Muvvahood with the wonderful Libby Liburd, who conceived, no pun intended, the show, wrote it and is the star of the show. And Libby's been kind enough just to stick around and chat to us a little bit about how she made the show, how it's been received, and what your plans are, what her plans are for the future. Can you tell us just a bit more about what motivated you to write the show and how it's been received, and a bit about the show in general?
So, originally, I was thinking about writing this show for a long period of time, and just the timing was right. So, for me, my motivation for writing the show was just that I didn't see any, let's say, helpful representations of single mothers. I didn't see anything that I could relate to. I certainly, I'd take my son to the theatre, cinema, on TV, and we wouldn't see a realistic representation of our family unit. I think there's a huge amount of stereotypes of single mothers out there, huge amount of stigma attached to a single parent household. They're still called broken homes openly in the media, and I was just really sick of seeing that and seeing the same tired old stereotypes, and that was my motivation. So I brewed the idea for a while before I actually made the piece.
This chat of ours will be going up on YouTube and social media and all of these things, and hopefully everyone will enjoy our chat. But earlier this year, or sort of end of 2016, early 2017, you released a brilliant video through The Guardian's sort of opinion pages, talking about the themes of the show, I guess the realities of being a single parent, a single mother, and the video went viral. So I don't want to talk too much about this, but it would be great to hear from you sort of what that was like, and sort of, I guess, whether that's changed people's, do people talk about it when they come to the show?
It was really unexpected. I didn't feel like there was anything on earth that could prepare me for that. And because I had been in this little bubble when I'd written it and I'd presented it, I didn't think about the impact of it going out afterwards. And then suddenly, within 3 days, it hit 1 million views on Facebook. And I was a bit like, oh my God, 1 million people have watched me doing this little video. And I did get trolled. So that's something I talk about in this show, Muvvahood. People messaging me through all social media channels. And at first, it was all massively positive. And then suddenly, the messages started to come that were not positive and that were really cruel, really personal, a lot of hate. And it was really bizarre for me, because I was like, hang on, I've made this video called "What is Our Problem with Single Mothers?" and me saying that society has an issue, and then I was getting people trolling me saying society has no issue, you need to shut your mouth, this, that and the other, and then saying horrible things about single mums to me. And I was like, well, I've just said there's an issue, you're telling me there's no issue whilst telling me the issues that you have with single mothers. I'm not sure many people make the connection that it's me in the show. It's weird, there's still this disconnect. Every so often I get people saying, I really recognise you, have you done anything? So overall, it was a positive experience for me, but there was a price to pay.
Today we offered the performance in a sort of relaxed setting. So we had lots of lovely babies in the audience. We had the creche, which was very popular. So I'm just wondering if you could tell us a bit about how do you find how accommodating are theatres and arts venues generally for sort of parents or single mothers, for both the audience and what are your experiences?
It varies from venue to venue. I, as a single mum, could, really struggle to get childcare. So often if I was going to a theatre production, I'd have my son with me as a matter of course, and I'd often ring up the venue beforehand and say, can I bring him in? Is it okay to bring him in? Is it an appropriate show to bring him in? And so on. And everyone, I have to say, everyone was really fabulous. There was only 2 or 3 venues that turned me away and said, oh no, we don't have facilities or whatever. In terms of providing creches on site, I think we're really uniquely placed here in that we have that space to do that, but not every venue does, and I appreciate that. With the smaller fringe venues, for instance, they don't have another space where they can put a creche, so it's just baby steps. No pun intended. Look at that. I mean, that was fabulous. Yeah, but I think it's just about making people welcome. Theatre should be for everybody.
Yeah. And I found today it was so simple. It was, you know, open a door, let a mum in, let a mum out. Yeah. You know, we have a little space at the back. Yeah. If you want to go and play, go and play. Yeah. You know, and it wasn't too disruptive for you, I'm guessing?
Not at all.
Great.
Not at all.
Cool. Thousands of women and men who can really empathise. So with that in mind, what would you, if you had sort of a piece of advice you might give to a single mother who is also thinking of maybe a career in the arts or becoming an actor or wanting to perform, what sort of advice might you give?
I think the great thing about the acting industry and the arts generally is that there is no real time limit. It isn't like you're going to have to retire at age 60. You know, actors can keep going until the end of time. And I think it is about every parent, not just single parents, will have hard times, will have times when they're absolutely exhausted, will have times when they're thinking, I can't do this, when the juggling is too much. And I think it is important to have that context of everything will alter, everything will change, and there will come a time where you have a bit more freedom. I could only make this show because my son was older and I had a bit more freedom to make a show and to be on stage in the evening or rehearsing later and so on. It's an incredibly tough industry for anybody, let alone a parent, let alone a single parent. I think my main advice would be that you have to be prepared for it to be the long haul, the marathon, not the sprint. You have to find ways to rest, and to keep your creativity alive, even if you can't work, you can't do the jobs. I couldn't go on tour for years. I couldn't do this, that, and the other. So my way of keeping my creativity going was to write, and that's how I started writing this, really. So
great.
Yeah.
For more details, you can go to the Poplar Union website, or check us out on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Poplar Union, and you'll find more there. Hi, I feel like I should say, I don't know, hello, YouTubers? That seems rubbish, don't say YouTubers. Yeah,
hi guys.
Hi guys. I'll be like, hashtag everything. Oh, no.
I've got a hashtag on my t-shirt.
Look, see,
hashtag Muvvahood.